Alright, it's Tuesday, April 24th, I believe, and I'm down here by the lake scouting it out, and so you can see behind me here, down in this area here, they've dredged this open. This wasn't open as much, and as I was coming down here by the lake, working my way down from the river, there's got to be at least 8 to 10 cars parked, guys fishing in the stream. So maybe tomorrow I'll give it a shot in the morning before I leave for prepping for turkey hunting. I don't know if you can see the ripples in the water down here. Maybe it was that beaver. A lot of beaver sign down here. Beaver gnawing at the trees. So here's a couple examples of the beaver gnawing at trees. There's one. You can see how he gnawed up here on this tree. Dropped it in the water. Look at this. Looks like he's been in here gnawing too. There's some big trees gonna come down. Oh my goodness, look at this. This is pretty fresh. He's been gnawing on this wood. I got wood chips all over here. Look at this. Down here, man. Got a single beaver in here, or we got a pack of beavers. You can see here some older stuff here. They're two pretty fresh right there. So like I said, I think we'll give it a shot tomorrow morning before we head up to prep for turkey hunting. Alright, it's 7:40, Wednesday morning, April 25th. My third attempt at steelhead. Water levels are up and the water's moving a lot more than the last time, so hopefully that'll be a plus. So we're going to work that wall and that riffle, where the last time I had some action but just couldn't get that one fish to go. And here's the wall, there's that riffle. Hopefully we got some fish sitting right in here. So we're going to work this area pretty good. Maybe work our way upstream if we got a chance. Good time to move upstream. There's a little pool right above this riffle off to the left here. Some slack water, and if the fish may have moved up through this riffle here, or rapids, whatever you want to call it, they may be resting in that pool, gathering strength for the next swim upstream through another rapid to the riffle. So I'm going to move up a little bit. Upstream right in front of me. So I was talking to the gentleman that just walked past. He said there's fish upstream, there's maybe one other fisherman up there, you got the whole place to yourself. So I think we're going to move upstream. We're going to cross the river here and work our way up. Alright, we moved up above that slack water rapids or riffle. Got some slack water up here we're going to work next. Like I said, I was talking to that gentleman that was working his way downstream. He said there's some fish up there. He couldn't get them to go. He said maybe I'll get lucky. But he says there's hardly anybody upstream, so we're going to continue working our way upstream. We got some slack water right here. You can see right along this bank here. So we're going to work this a little bit before we continue to move upstream. Got a couple of fish here holding. And you'll be able to see them on here. We got a couple of fish right in here someplace. We're going to work this a little longer. I'm working these two right here. It's tough to pick up from this angle. Well, it's kind of frustrating. I'm up here where that blowdown is in the water. I've had 5 trout. I've had 3 trout right by my feet. And I just can't get them to take. There were 2 larger ones, probably 18 to 20. Probably a male and a female spawning. And then my shadow spooked them. I tried to get them on camera. They moved into the slack water pool up here. And then there were 3 behind me. So I tried drifting down on them. And no, they wouldn't go. Finally they swam up around by my feet and they spooked into the slack water pool. So they're, as far as I can tell, they're still in this pool in here. So I'm going to work it a little longer and see what happens. Well, not very lucky today. I lost 2 hooks, 2 bobbers. Had 3, 4, 5 or 6 fish marked. Was working them, and that's where I ended up losing my 2 bobbers and my hooks. And then a guy just upstream from me caught one of the fish I was working, and that had been about a 20 to 25 inch steelhead, just upstream. I mean, I had 3 of them by me, and I could see it. I was watching them. I was drifting the spawn sack and the spawn eggs right over them, right in between them. Just couldn't get them to go. Anyways, it's fish till 9 o'clock, and like I said, I saw fish. It was fun. Couldn't get one. Saw a guy catch one upstream. And now it's time to go home, pack up, and get ready for turkey hunting. We're shut out again this year for steelhead. Alright, I just hated to say we got shut out for trout fishing for steelhead this year. So I came down here by the lake. Fish moving up. They're still moving up. And there's nobody fishing down here by the lake. So I'm just west of the bridge. And we're going to cast in here. It's 9:20, so we're going to fish till about 10 o'clock. And then we'll head back and get ready for turkey hunting, to drive up by Craig and get our blinds set up. Well, nothing here. Almost got my lure tangled up in the bridge. I'm going to move down a little closer to the lake. We're going to work that area where the old boat ramp was. There used to be able to launch your boats down here. I'll work that area for 15-20 minutes, and we'll cast some spinner baits and see what we get there. Then I think we're just going to head back and start packing up for turkey hunting. Alright, so we're at the boat ramp. We'll cast to see what happens here. Throwing spinner baits. got one right here. Check this one out. Right by the ramp. Look at him. Just snag him. See that one? He's still out here. We're going to still try for him. No luck. Well, you saw that. Steelhead was right in here on the ramp, for cripe's sakes. Could not catch him. I don't see him anymore. He finally dove down. He stayed up on the surface for a long time. I was pitching that spinning bait all around him. Nothing. We fished it a good 2 hours with nothing. We saw fish, but we just couldn't get them to go again. Well, we tried. I had 6 steelhead upstream that we worked, and I just couldn't get them to go. I mean, they were right there. You could take your net and scoop them up if they were legal to do that, but it's not. So I tried my spawn eggs. I tried spinnerbait upstream, and then to add insult to injury, I lose 2 bobbers, 2 hooks, and right upstream from me there where I lost those, and that's where I had my encounter with all those fish. Guy catches a steelhead. Right, I'm working just down from the blowdowns, the trees, and the eddies in there, the slack water, and just on the other end of those trees, all of a sudden I hear splashing. Here's a guy hauls in a 25, 28 inch steelhead. I was like, to add insult to injury. Then I come down here by the lake, and I'm fishing down by the lake, and we had one swim right up by the ramp where I was fishing. I was standing on the old launching ramp. He swam right up on the ramp again. If it was legal to net him, I'd been able to net that fish. So I couldn't get him to go with the spinner baits, and I didn't bring the other rod with the spawn sack. So you got to be legal. You got to catch them legally. You just can't net them or snag them. It's just not right. So at any rate, we saw fish, and again we come up empty-handed on steelhead for 2018. I don't think I'll be steelhead fishing anymore, because now turkey hunting is coming around, and that's where I'm headed now. I'm going home, loading up all the stuff. We're going to drive up by Craig. I don't know if I'll go up today or tomorrow, and we'll get our turkey blind set up on his property and do some road scouting for public hunting. And we'll see you up by Craig. Bye. Well, my 2018 steelhead fishing was indeed a chase after steelhead ghosts. I would visually make contact with them and see them in the stream, present my bait, watch my bait drift all around them, cast spinners right in front of them. In fact, my baits would sometimes drift down and bump their nose and spook them. But when my bait presentations were made, they became like ghosts. They were oblivious to any type of bait presentation I put in front of them. Like I said, you got to be at the right place, which I was. I was visually making contact with those fish. But you also got to be there at the right time. They weren't biting. That's why we call it fishing and not catching. Hi. Well, that's it for this week's video. If you enjoyed the video, please go ahead and hit the like button. Then if you're not already a subscriber, why don't you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. This way you won't miss any new videos. As they come out, you'll be notified. You can comment below on this video on the comment section, or feel free to drop us an email at rapantoutdoors360@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and as always, thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Right by the ramp.